Hello. Trigger warning. Any of you who don't like to see a lady swearing or being rude, well, you might as well switch off now, because I'm afraid I might slip into, in fact, I know I'm going to slip into some bad language because of all the horror in the past few days because of Ukraine. We have a little ray of sunshine in the form of a joke. Actually two, although they're both related. The first and funniest joke of them all is that Germany has refused not only to supply Ukraine with defensive weapons it needs to protect itself from Russian oppression, but Germany has also forbidden Estonia to send any armaments which Estonia originally bought from Germany. What could possibly go wrong with that? Oh, but don't despair, because here's the punchline of the joke. Germany is doing something. It's sending 5,000 helmets to the Ukraine, which I can well imagine that the Ukrainians might use for pots to piss in. And the reason for this German behaviour is Nord Stream. Nord Stream is the nice name for a pipeline that goes from Russia to Germany. It goes all the way from Volkhov and then under the Baltic Sea to Greifswald, carrying over a third of Germany's entire gas supply. What could possibly go wrong with that? You may well ask why Germany, well, Germans are supposed to be quite clever, aren't they? Why has Germany placed itself in the grip of a country like Russia? And I can only guess. Germany has been trying to commit national suicide since World War II. At first, they thought they'd make a United Nations of Europe into which they could submerge themselves. What could possibly go wrong with that? What went wrong was that the Germans were just about the only country that did any work, and through a combination of coal, social conformity, white wine that tastes like paint stripper, with the exception of Spätlese, of course, and a total lack of humour, they came to dominate Europe economically and therefore politically. It's sort of like someone trying to commit suicide by overwork and then getting richer than all his neighbours. So they had to find something else to destroy themselves with. Take in millions of semi-literate and mostly unemployable refugees, most of whom don't fit the technical profile of refugees anyway, but hey, what the hell? What could possibly go wrong with that? Well, how about the fact that as the dominant partner in the EU, this meant that a whole lot of other countries, countries far too poor to support such an influx, had to do the same thing. It was like a man trying to commit suicide by drowning and ending up living by hanging on to the dead body of the fellow swimmer he dragged down at the same time. Okay, so what next? I know what. How about closing down all your power stations and getting a dedicated gas pipeline from Russia? Now, there's a country with a history of stability and social order, isn't it? So, you can get the energy you use to keep your factories going and to keep your neat little IKEA-furnished flats warm through the harsh middle European winters, and to fire up your gas hobs to boil your bockwurst, and then you can put yourself in a situation where you will be utterly dependent on that gas from Russia, and you become a vassal state of Russia. What could possibly go wrong with that? So, while the Germans stay quiet but warm in their little flats, go out to work in clean and peaceful streets, to the well-lit factories where they can manufacture cars to sell to everyone else, this time it's the Ukrainians who get to suffer under bombs in the dark and cold middle European winter. And so, this is my plea to Germany. For God's sake, stop trying to kill yourselves. It's too dangerous for everyone else. And I am Graniopteryx. I am on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. I am on Twitter as @Graniopteryx, and you will get upload notifications on Twitter, Gab and Parler. Right, that's about it. See you next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the Graniopteryx design or Granbow with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.graniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.